what sort of mindset, practice things do you use to get out of that negative thought cycle?
Yeah, the worst kind of thoughts you can imagine, like this is the last breath you're going to take. You're going to die down there. You can't do this. You're going to black out. Like you can, if you imagine that you have some kind of little devil in your mind that's trying to think of the most perturbing, most kind of distressing thought that it can come up with. That's what goes into your head. It's kind of like this perverse part of your mind that will always try and
Yeah.
derail you somehow. And so, yeah, when I hear that thought, part of it is a technique that we talked about before from the mental immune system, where you just see the thought as information. All it is just kind of like the result of some chemical processes in my brain that's given life to this this voice in my head, which has come to my awareness. And I am not the voice, I'm not the thought, I'm not anything else other than the awareness itself. So that's part of it, but also another technique which can be very useful in those crux moments when, I'm taking my last breath and this thought pops into my head. You want to avoid combating it. You want to avoid kind of arguing with yourself and saying, no, it's not. No, I'm not going to die. This isn't the last breath I'm going to take. If you go down that route, that's what it wants. That's kind of, you get mired in that battle. But an alternative is just to do what I call schedule your thoughts. So you say to it, okay, that's interesting, noted. I'm going to think about that, but I'm going to think about it after the dive, once I get back to the surface. So I'll come back to that thought, just put that on hold. And yeah, of course, at the end of the dive, when you come back to it, it has no relevance because then you're fine, nothing's happened. So you can use that in your day-to-day life. If you are worried about like it raining on your wedding day, you just tell yourself, okay, I'll think about that. I'll come back to that worry the day after my wedding, or something.
I like that. It's like it sounds like having a personal assistant for your thoughts. Like if you're sitting in your office and someone unexpected comes in and they think they're just going to walk into your office, then you have an assistant there that goes, hey, you're going to need to come back tomorrow. We'll throw in the calendar for next week. I like that.
Exactly. Yeah, that's a good way of looking at it. It's just a little sleight of hand that allows you to placate that kind of devil's advocate or that little adversary in your mind that's chipping away with these negative thoughts.
Yeah. It's also funny when you say the cheat code or the shortcut to enlightenment or shortcut to nirvana, because usually if someone's making a picturesque representation of nirvana, it's on a mountaintop somewhere or sunrise, but no one ever puts it 50 meters underwater. No one ever, besides I guess freediving Reddit, no one goes, I'm going to take a picture of nirvana and it's just a guy sitting on the bottom of the ocean. So it's funny that is where you've experienced it the most, is where people don't normally look.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's open for everyone because when you're sitting on a mat, you feel your weight, you feel like you have a body, you feel your knees are hating you for the position that you're supposed to sit in when you're meditating, all those kind of things. So you feel like you have a body, whereas if you dive down to 30, 40 meters and you lie on the bottom, you're weightless. The sensation of the water is equal on every part of your body, so your body disappears. It doesn't actually feel like you have a body. Likewise, when we're above the surface, we're breathing the whole time, so you constantly have this kind of metronome of time passing. Even if you're not focused on your breath, it's subconsciously you're always feeling it. And so you're always feeling this rhythm of the time passing. You hold your breath and it's like time stops. So not only do you not have a body and it feels like there's no kind of coordinates of space around you, but also time has kind of paused to a certain extent. And then add to that the fact that your thoughts have slowed down and your mind is more empty than it is occupied. And yeah, there's no kind of extraneous kind of what's the word, material.
Stimuli,
Yeah,
material. Yeah.
the stimuli, no material for your mind. And so in the absence of that, it focuses inwards. The awareness becomes aware itself, that you have kind of a presence in your own awareness, an awareness of your presence. And that state, I mean, I've had dives where I go to 50 meters these days for deeper hangs and just stay at that depth and very quickly get into this state. Perhaps the narcotic effect of gases combine to kind of enhance this. But yeah, for a period of time, I don't feel like I have a body. I don't have any thoughts, and all I am is this just speck of awareness with no contents.